Hello, you're welcome to our channel again. This is Family Aspects, and I'm so happy to share some of these things I want to share with you today. How to bring back intimacy into your marriage. Maybe after children, maybe before children. You haven't even had children yet, but it's like you have journeyed in your relationship into sexual desert. You know what I mean? In other words, there is no more energy, no more fuel, no more excitement, no more sexual commitment, no intimacy in your relationship anymore. And that's what you've been going through. I heard a story of a couple who, after a minor argument and some other subsequent indifferences that they had, led to them separating for a while, because they separated and they were sleeping in their different rooms. Then when they came back together after they resolved the situation, they could not get back their intimacy anymore. And it's over 3 years now, the lady said, that she had sexual intercourse with so-called her husband. Things have been going just like friends and casual friends relationship at home. So they just leave, talk, take care of the kids as husband and wife. They were just as father and mother. You know what I mean? But when it comes to sexual intimacy, when it comes to intimacy at all in the relationship, they are actually struggling. Now, there are many people doing that today. There are many people going through all of that. But today, I want to share how you can bring back intimacy into your marriage, irrespective of what has happened before. So, watch out for the details. I'll be back soon. Hey, you're welcome back. Now, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I want you to subscribe, because what I'm about to share with you will just blow your mind. Not only it will help you come back and activate your relationship intimately, no matter how long you've been apart from each other. Now, how do you bring back intimacy into your marriage? How are you going to do it? Is it possible? Some people think that it's never going to be possible. I heard the lady said that, no, it's over 5 years now. I've not had intimacy with my husband. I don't think that can be revived. We don't even want to talk about it. Listen, that situation is not too late. If you are in that situation, you have hope. Trust me. There's something you can do. That's why we're bringing this communication to you today, this topic to you today. How to bring back intimacy into your marriage. How do you bring it back? What are you supposed to do? Well, I'm going to be sharing a few points with you, probably 10 points. I want you to note them. And I'm going to be quick, but I want you to play this video again and again. You'll be able to understand what I'm sharing with you. Number one, if you want to bring back intimacy into your marriage, number one thing you must do, change your pattern of initiating sex in your marriage. A lot of times we have problem with couples who have always maintained one particular pattern of having sex in their relationship. And that can be tiring, that can be boring. Sometimes it might just be a particular boring position, boring pattern. And it has been boring for over 10 years, boring for over 15 years. What are you going to do? You need to change. This is the time to change your pattern. Look into your pattern of initiating sex. How do you do it? How do you initiate it? Is it the man that always initiates it, or the woman that should always initiate it? In most cases, I've always said that women are supposed to be the initiator of sex. They are the one that should, stir up the man to make those moves. And look at that pattern. How is it done? How is it being initiated? It's so important, because if you don't talk about how it is being initiated, then there's gonna be challenges in initiating it in the first place, because it's not being talked about. Maybe you are denying your partner, or it depends. Maybe you're denying your partner, all right, or coming onto you so strong. So probably your partner, every time he comes to you so strong about it, you deny it. You say no. The way you act, even though you may have been interested in it, but the initiation is wrong. Something is wrong with the initiation. All right. So avoid criticizing each other and stop blaming each other, because a lot of times there's this blame game that goes on when it's time for intimacy. Oh, you didn't do this well. Oh, you were told you were talking. Oh, you were too noisy. Oh, you didn't. You were just there. Now this blame game had to stop. Otherwise, it dies off. It kills. It paralyzes intimacy in relationship. All right. So it's time to mix things up. You need to mix things up. End the struggles, because a lot of times we have this major fight going on in the bedroom. You need to stop that. That's the wrong way of initiating it. You don't need to fight over it. You don't need to quarrel over it. If you do, the next time you're not going to have any interest in it. Okay, all right. So it is very important. You have to practice what works. Practice what is working for you. So the first point you want to note is that you have to change your pattern of initiating sex. How are you initiating it? Okay, is it in a subtle way? Why avoiding other things that may hurt you, depending on how it's being done? How are you doing it? Because I can't specifically give you one particular example of what you should follow. All right, but just look at your initiative pattern. All right, look at your initiation. How is it going on? The way you're initiating sex, how is it going on? Is it a good pattern? Change it. Change your pattern. Learn more pattern on initiating sex. That's the number one key you want to take note of. Then another thing you want to take note of is this. Now, this is number two. Number two, hug and hold hands more often with your partner. I can't overemphasize this enough. I did a video on the power of hugging your spouse and your children. Go and watch the video. It's on our playlist. You will be amazed how powerful that this thing does. This emotional, physical affection. All right, how it's so powerful to awaken your intimacy in your relationship, no matter how dead it has been. If you will hug your spouse, your husband, now frequently. Some women have never been hugged by their husband for a long time. Can you imagine that? You're living with a man, you're married, and you don't hug. And even the kiss that you have is just a peck, it's just a cheek kiss. You do a cheek you do a cheek kiss. How long would that take you? So practice hugging each other often, and hug each other sincerely, passionately. It's called strong hug. Hug each other strongly. Hold hands more often when you walk, when you take a walk, when you go out. You see, it's according to the author, Dr. Corey Floyd. He said holding hands, hugging, and touching can release oxytocin. There's a fluid, an energy, oxytocin. He said it can release it, causing a calm sensation. Think about it. I just remember his quote now when I read one of his book. Corey Floyd. That's the man, Corey Floyd. All right. So he encourages his hugging, holding hands, touching. How important this is. All right, you need to study these things, practice it. All right, you need to. I cannot emphasize this enough. All right, I don't know what more I could use to describe the power of hug, the power of touching your spouse. You know, playful touch, physical affection produce stress hormones. Listen, let me show you something. Physical affection produces stress hormones, lowering daily levels of the stress hormones cortisols. Okay, it is so important to understand that. Let me try and rephrase that again, because I'm trying to remember what Dr. Floyd wrote and spoke about this. Additional affection, he says, is a physical affection. Applying physical affection produce stress hormones, it lowers the stress that you get every day. When you hug each other, it reduces stress. It reduces daily stress that you go through. That's the best way I can put it. So first, it produces that hormones that causes stress to be reduced, that combats stress. Do you understand? So physical affection, touching is very important. That's the most important one I will actually emphasize on this particular topic, because it's so important. It helps you to get into the mood of intimacy that will not lead to sexual intimacy. It's good. There must be an affection. Affection leads to sexual intimacy. Sexual intimacy is not affection. Affection leads to sexual intimacy. We must understand the difference. If you are not affectionate, you cannot get intimacy from sexual intimacy from your partner. You must be affectionate. You must talk affectionate talk. You must touch affectionately. Okay. All right. Number 3, allow tension to build. You must allow tension to build your brain to experience more pleasure when the anticipation of the reward goes on. You see, allow more tension to build in your brain. You see, in other words, take time to do foreplay. That's what I'm trying to say. Take time to do foreplay. You know, do foreplay, share fantasies. You know what I mean by foreplay now? Play with your spouse. Play with your husband. Wear some lovely clothes, sexy, attractive clothes, and play. Learn to do these things. And change your locations. You know, in making sex, if you want to, if when it gets to that level. But you have to stay it up first. Stay it up by the way you play. Play differently. Dress sexy. Look attractive. You got to do this. Your aim is to make sex more romantic instead of just, you know, a shabby attack. This is so important. Number 4, separate sexual intimacy from routine. It's very important. You need to separate your sexual intimacy from routines, your daily routine. Plan intimacy time with your spouse. Avoid talking about relationship problems and household chores in the bedroom. It quenches the desire for intimacy. It paralyzes the interest of the intimacy. In your bedroom is not the time to talk about the problem that you had throughout the day. In the bedroom is not the time to talk about the household chores that wasn't done. It's not in the bedroom you talk about it. When you bring that into the bedroom, you are actually paralyzing the moment, the special moment you should be having. You are discouraging the intimacy that was supposed to take place. So, sexual arousal plummets when we are distracted and distressed. That's the point I'm trying to make. Sexual arousal plummets when we are distracted. So don't be distracted. Don't be stressed. Do you understand? Because that's what happens. Sexual arousal will just plummet. It will just die down. All right. Then number 5 point you want to take note of is you need to carve out time to spend with your partner. Carve out time. A lot of people are too busy not to spend time with your partner. When you come back from work, when your partner returns from work, spend time, an hour or two. Spend quality time with your partner. Carve out time. You must schedule time to spend with your partner. It's so important. I don't know how I can express that enough. It's so important. So try varieties of activity that will bring you both pleasure. All right. Have fun, courting, practicing flicking at each other as you will. Ignite sex desire. Do something. Create these things. It's so important. All right. Then number 6, focus on affectionate touch. I've mentioned about this before. Focus on affectionate touch. Offer to give your partner a back, a shoulder rub, whatever. I do that most of the time. People associate foreplay with sexual intercourse. It's easy. When you do those foreplay, it automatically resonates. It will the sexual hormones will be stirred up. Will be stirred up. But remember, I said affection is not sex. Being affectionate is not sex. So understand that. Another thing that you want to remember this. Being affectionate or practicing affectionate touch is so powerful. It's a powerful way to demonstrate and rekindle passion, even if you are not a touchy-feely person. It doesn't practice this affection. There are many ways to practice affectionate touch. All right, many ways. Then number 7, practice being more emotionally vulnerable during sex. A lot of women and men are too stiff when it's sex time, when it's intimacy time. They are just emotionally stiff, and they some of them talk their way in, talk their way out, quarrel over. Oh dear, quarrel over it. How is it gonna be fun? Practice being more emotional. Be emotionally vulnerable during sex. Share your innermost wishes, your fantasies, desire, and your desires, okay? Desires with your partner. Share how you feel. You see, if you feel emotional intimacy, if you fear, let me use that word, that's the word. If you fear emotional intimacy, consider engaging in individual or couple therapy, because that's the best. I'm not sure, because there are some couples who are afraid of it. They're just afraid. If you are afraid of emotional intimacy, then you should consult a therapy. You need help. Yeah, you need help. So that's it. Then number 8, maintain a sense of curiosity about sexual intimacy. You see, experiment with your new ways to bring pleasure to each other. That's what I'm trying to say here. Experiment new ways. Pleasure to each other is very important. Experiment new ways. Look at sex as an opportunity to get to know your partner better over the time. It's so important. It's an opportunity. Well, you have been enjoying this. Before I give you the last 2 points, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and hit the like button right now. And also don't forget to hit the bell notification button there, so you'll be able to receive notification in any of our videos that we upload. All right, thank you for doing that. Now let's get back to it. Number nine. Vary the kind of sex you have. Vary the kind of sex you have. Is it gentle, loving, tender, intimate? How do you vary the kind of sex that you have? I would suggest have gentle, loving, tender, intimate, highly erotic sex. Practice these things. Break up the routine. You know, this normal, everyday, one-sided, one position, this normal routine, you need to break it up, because you need to just practice everything else that will ignite the intimacy and change your sexual life. Then the number 10, make sex a priority. Make sex a priority in your relationship with your spouse. If you can't do that, then you have a problem. You got to make sex a priority. Make sex a priority. That's what I did in my relationship. I have to make sex a priority. There was a time my wife was telling me, is this marriage about sex? No, I said, because if I don't make this a priority, then every other thing will suffer. And that's how a lot of people are going through it right now. That's why a lot of people are suffering about suffering in their intimacy right now, because they didn't make sex priority. They thought sex was not relevant. They flushed sex to the background. So set the mood for intimacy before TV. Walk door your passion for other routines, other things. What I'm trying to say is set your mood. Okay, you say today I'm gonna have this thing with my husband, with my wife. So set your mood, prepare yourself. All right. So whatever you think you want to do alongside to stay it up, maybe light a meal, candlelight, whatever, or play music of your choice. Maybe have a glass of wine of your choice. You see, but listen, set the stage for great sex, bro. 6, you gotta do it. This is fall on you to rekindle in bringing your intimacy back to your marriage. So I've shared with you today 10 points that will help you revive your intimacy back into your marriage. Even though you've been 5 years behind or 10 years behind, it doesn't matter. Even though you have children and you thought, oh, because of the babies we are no more interested, it doesn't matter. If you practice these things, you'll be amazed how your life is going to turn out. Just give it some time, all right? Don't be too anxious. Practice these things and give it days, few days. You'll see how everything will come back to normal. Thank you for watching. I believe you have been inspired by what I shared with you today. I hope this is going to be helpful to you. If it has been helpful to you, please leave a comment in the comment section. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to leave your comments in the comment section and leave your question there as well. We will get back to you. I try to reply every comment that I read that are valuable and impactful. Thank you so much for all the information you guys are sharing on our platform, especially in the comment section. Guys, thank you for watching this video. I know you really appreciate it, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Like it, share it, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and I will see you in another video. Until then, have a peaceful relationship. Bye for now.